Father N.K. Sivya, our rector and parish priest, Father Paul Adane, our principal, Father Thomas Eka, our vice principal, all my colleagues, and my dear students. We know water is life, that is, no water, no life. So it is our bounden duty to save water, the water, and preserve our own life. We, the NSS of Don Bosco Higher Secondary School, are organizing the Water Conservation Week starting from today, that is from 1st of March to 7th of March. Water conservation is the practice of using water efficiently to reduce the unnecessary water usage. According to Fresh Water Watch, water conservation is important because fresh, clean water is a limited resource as well as a costly one. Most of us are from the hilly area, and so we are well aware of the scarcity of water. That means we know the value of water. As we begin Water Conservation Week, symbolically, I invite Father N.J. Syriac to pour water into the empty pot. Father, please. Thank you, Father. This pot will remain here this week, which will remind you to save water wherever you are now and in future. To observe this week of conservation of water, we have planned out certain activities which are already mentioned to you by Father Paul, our principal. It is also displayed on the notice board, so you are all invited to participate. To begin with, the NSS volunteers have prepared the mime in order to show us how we waste water and how much it is important for us to save it. So I welcome the NSS volunteers to take their time.
Other students, please keep quiet and watch, observe, and learn something instead of simply laughing and talking.
Thank you, dear students of NSS. Next, I invite Father N.J. Sirius, our rector and parish priest, to enlighten us with his words of wisdom.
Good morning to everyone. Dear Father the Head Paul, Principal of the school, Father Thomas Eka, Vice Principal, sisters, and my dear students. First of all, congrats to the NSS team which has performed a very nice way of telling us how to conserve the water. I think you all understood, and I made that on those two points on that. First of all, congrats to the NSS who are organizing this particular week to tell us the importance of water. Water conservation is a need of the hour. What is it? Using water efficiently. Using water efficiently, and then try to use this water in a very efficient manner, that is in simple language, and then recycling the water, it is going to be more difficult. Why is it this conservation required? Because fresh and clean water is a limited source, is a limited resource, and we need to conserve this water. This natural resource is needed for our environment. Then we must remember we have plenty of water in the Pacific Ocean. That we have plenty of water, but that water cannot be used for drinking purposes. It's not fresh at all. So, how much of water do we have, which is clean, fresh? It's only 2.5%. Of that 5%, we can, what is really available is 1.5% only. But out of this 1%, we can only use 1%, which is clean and affected, which is good for use for all of us. So you can imagine the factors that affect us for this limited supply of water is population. The population explosion was a simple example of Maram. 10 years ago or 11 years ago, there were very few hostels here. Now there are over 50 hostels. Now our building also has come up, so we need more water. So the population explosion has limited our water supply. Then the climatic conditions that is taking place has also affected and increased the pressure on our natural water resources. So how are we going on this day? Is 1 week that is being organized by NSS. We have to use 3 words: reduce, reuse, recycle. These are the 3 catchwords I want to tell you. 3 words. I hope you will keep that in mind. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Water, as we know, is very limited, and it also protects our lives. If there is no water, you have seen what happened. They wasted water. I'll come to the factors that are required. So, water is required for our lives. There's a scarcity, and if there's a scarcity, there will be food crisis. And if there's a food crisis, there will be a social problem. And if there's a social problem, our ecosystem will be affected. So these are to be kept in mind. And how do we use water in a little water that we have? How do we use it wisely? These are the ways. The first, you saw how they reacted and acted in front of us. First of all, install low flow water showers. So what we have is there's a fast flowing showers with a lot of water is wasted. So install low flow showers in our bathrooms. Next, when you decide that there's a leakage, repair the leakage immediately. Then close the taps while brushing the teeth, as they showed us. So they came, the tap is open, meantime she is going around brushing her teeth. Water is lost. Then washing the faces. Again, water is wasted, goes around and admires her beautiful face in the mirror. And what happens? Water is wasted. And at the end of it, what happens is that there is a wastage of water, and in the process, they're thirsty, there's no water to look after themselves, and they all started almost dying. So, in our household, use the right amount of water for daily use. If we can use with 1 bucket of water, have only 1 bucket instead of wasting 2 buckets or 3 buckets of water. So, use of water, and then the same water can be recycled. The water that we are using for washing can be for gardening. So instead of taking fresh water for gardening, use the water that is used already. And then also feeding the animals. Some of the water we can be used for giving to the animals. So remember that there is a possibility of protecting our lives and preserving our environment, our own world. If we do not conserve and preserve the water that is available, which is only 1%, remember we are going to end our lives. So that is my wish today as we start this week of conservation. Remember, it is the date, even the real date for conservation is 22nd of March, but we are keeping it on the 1st to 7th. So real date is 22nd of this month. So keep that day also as a day for, and not only for this week, it has to go all through our life. So water, you go to drink water, kindly make sure water, the tap is not simply left open, but whenever you want use it in a, and so 3 words, I repeat those 3 words: reduce, reuse, recycle. God bless you, have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Father, and I assure from my behalf, at least myself and those who have heard the NSS volunteers, you should not waste water, as Father has said. Reuse, reduce and recycle. So thank you very much, Father.
I, on behalf of the staff and the students, would like to thank our Father Rector for giving us the message on this day as we begin the Water Conservation Week. And also, I thank the NSS volunteers under the supervision of Sister Sonal and Sir Gan. We thank them for enlightening us and helping us to understand the importance of using water. Let us keep this in mind. This is not only meant for the NSS volunteers, but for each one of us present here. Let us make use of it and make use for our betterment. Some informations. Uniforms for class 11 half have reached, the other half will be reaching today. And therefore within this week,